Good morning from Philadelphia, and welcome to another exciting and inspirational episode of the Up2me Magazine Show. Today, we are blessed to have with us Miss Rebecca Croft, classical singer and band leader of Utah's award-winning Cedar Breaks Band. If you are a regular listener to our program and share my love of history, you will undoubtedly remember my interview back in January with filmmaker, co-author, and musician Mike Erickson for his award-winning book, Upon Destiny's Song and movie, The Ole Madsen Story. Toward the end of the interview, though, did we touch on his work as a classical guitarist in the multi-award-winning Cedar Breaks Band and promised a deserving follow-up segment just for them. A musical band that is as distinguishable as their members, Cedar Break combines strong and interesting harmonies with diverse settings of instrumentation, including classical and rock guitar, violin, piano, banjo, and drums, with presenting songs of New Age folk, rock, blues, bluegrass, and even gospel leanings. Cedar Breaks is also a multi-award-winning band for music, songwriting, music videos, documentaries, and children's literature. They are dedicated to producing music, films, and literature that is centered around faith, family, and heritage, and is the reason they are represented on our program this morning. Their members consist of classical guitarist Mike Erickson, guitarist and pop singer Michael Gibbons, pop singer Diana Rogers-Glissmeyer, banjo player Keith Behunin, and our very special guest this morning, classical singer and band leader, Miss Rebecca Croft. Rebecca, good morning.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for being here. We're so excited. I can't wait to introduce yourself to our audience this morning as the classical vocalist for Cedar Breaks Band and also as the band leader. We'll talk about the band and listen to some of your music in just a little bit, but I would like to introduce our listeners personally. Can you tell us a little bit about yourself and your family?
Sure. I was classically trained, and just throughout the years, just started to do some different genres of music, and I met Mike Erickson, and he had this idea for a few of us to come together and sing a song, and we did, and it was just magic, and that's how Cedar Breaks formed. All of us have such different backgrounds, and we came together, and the sound was just incredible. So ever since, I've been with Cedar Breaks, and I've loved every minute of it, and it's such a blessing to be part of this group. And then on a more personal note, I am a mom to two little ones. I have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old, and I sing with Cedar Breaks, and I write music, and I love my life.
So you're multi-talented. You're so blessed. You mentioned a couple seconds ago that you're classically trained. How does someone become classically trained? That's interesting to me.
I was incredibly shy growing up, and it was starting to become a problem. And so my mom thought if she got me in some vocal lessons and some voice lessons, maybe that would help me break out of my shell a little bit. And so I had a wonderful voice instructor that would come to my home, and I made everyone leave. I wouldn't let anyone be in the house. It took even probably 6 to 8 months for my mom to even hear me sing. And then once my parents heard me, they realized that I was actually okay at it. I had a talent at it. So they kept the voice lessons going, which I'm so grateful for them. And so I studied under some professors in the area at the local college when I was 12 through 15. And then I continued that study when I went to college and just really kept going with the classical voice.
That's really amazing.
Yeah, it was fun. I had amazing parents that really saw that gift and that talent and facilitated it. They even did so much that they allowed me to be homeschooled so I could do all of my vocal classes and the classes at universities. And so I wouldn't be where I'm at right now without my parents really listening to that inspiration and just going for it.
Yeah, I was just going to ask you if your mom saw something in you as a child with your voice that she recognized you could sing, and so that's where she went with breaking you out of your shell with voice lessons, or it was just something she's like, well, maybe she'd like to do some voice lessons. Or some people will sign their kids up for piano. I tried that with my son. He wasn't having any of that.
That happens.
That didn't work with him, but it's I just love how God puts that little voice in your parents' mind, you know, to say, this is where I'm leaning her towards. And and your mom recognized that, and your dad, and they listen to that still small voice. I think that's awesome.
They did, and now being a parent, I understand. I begin to understand that love and that intuition and that guidance you get as a parent, and I'm so grateful that my parents listened to that. And I was always involved with choirs and little things like that, but I had never done anything solo. And so my mom just thought, let's get her in some solo lessons and see what happens. And here I am. That's what happened.
And that's a great word that you just used, is intuition, because that's exactly what that is. That's your, you know, your intuition. So that's just such a great story. And thanks for sharing that with us.
Oh, thank you.
How did you get to know Mike? How did you meet Mike?
Mike heard one of my songs from my debut album. Someone gave him a demo CD, and he actually didn't have my name. He just had California Girl written on it, because I was from California, and he was filming a big project. And so he was able to kind of track me down years later, and he called me and said, I want to use your song Believe on the next album. Would that be okay? And I said, sure, let's meet up. And
we're going to talk about that later, too. You wrote Believe.
I sang Believe, Still Crosby wrote it.
You sang Believe. Oh, I got you. Oh, my gosh. Well, we're going to talk about that later on, too, after the break. But that's awesome. Well, you're also the band leader, right?
I am.
So what are the responsibilities of a band leader? What do they do?
You know,
what does a band leader do?
It's such a great group of people. I'm actually really fortunate that I don't have to do everything. We all kind of take an aspect of it, but I try and keep momentum with the projects, as far as making sure everyone's communicated to and with, and really just keeping us all focused on our message throughout the songs, and just kind of, you know, keeping us all in the loop, really.
Are you responsible for booking the band places and scheduling and things like that? Or is that just divided up, like you said?
It's kind of divided. Mike Erickson does a lot of that as well. So we both just kind of, when we find someone that would like to have the band on or a show or something like that, either Mike or I, we both just kind of help facilitate that.
That's awesome. I love that you're a singer and the band leader. I think that's really neat. I like that.
Thank you.
And that it is. It's awesome. And I like how you said that everybody kind of divides the responsibilities up. It's not just put on you. You are a mom of young children, and so that just speaks to to the camaraderie that I can tell is there in the band. And that's what I think is one of the things that make you really special too. And so I want to talk about the other members of the band. And so I'm hoping that you could introduce each of them to us, what instrument they play, and what each of them bring, you think, uniquely to the band, what you feel.
Oh, for sure. I love this group of people. I could talk about them all day.
That's awesome.
Well, I've already introduced myself, and then Mike Erickson was on your show, and so you probably got a little bit of a feel for him. But one thing he doesn't tell people very often is he is an incredibly good classical guitarist, and he writes the majority of our songs. So a lot of the inspiration comes from Mike Erickson. My favorite thing about Mike and the band is I love the spirit that he brings to his songwriting. He doesn't write just to sell a song. He writes to share a message.
He writes
and to
from
really
the
convey
heart.
an emotion. He does, and
it's
really an amazing talent to have. So that's my favorite thing that Mike brings to the band. Diana Rogers-Glissmeyer, she is a vocalist as well, and her voice is fantastic. She can harmonize with anything. It's amazing. So I love being in the studio with Diana. We've had so many great memories together, and because usually the two female voices are together when we're recording harmonies and things like that. So she has such an optimistic, happy persona about her, and I think that really comes through in our music. She really brings that uplifting vocal to our music.
Well, I just wanted to note that harmonizing is not easy. It sounds like it
No.
can be easy, but it's you know what? Because I can sing a little bit myself. I used to do community theater, and I couldn't do the harmony though. I could only do, I could do what was written. It's a gift. So she has a special gift.
I have to practice a lot at my harmonies, and she can just go in there and
it's
sing
hard.
it perfectly, like second time through. So she's amazing.
Great.
The next, Keith Bunin, he's our banjo player, and Keith is so funny. He's the comic relief of the band for sure. He's awesome. And so whenever we're between takes on a video or something like that, he'll just start playing the banjo and make us sing these old-time Americana songs, and it's so fun. And he wrote My Dog, which is one of our best videos, in my opinion, because we got to film with puppies. I mean, how is that not the best video? So he's really fun. And Michael Gibbons, Michael wears a lot of hats in the band. He is our recording engineer most of the time. He also produces some of our songs, and he plays the guitar and he sings. Michael's kind of your can-do-everything type of person. So we're really grateful to have Michael as well.
Wow.
Yeah, and Michael's another one that's amazing at harmonies. He can just hear them as well. So I'm glad that we have those two, because if it were me in charge of harmonies, we might be in trouble.
You know, and I love how in your interview on Western Life Radio, and it's kind of speaking to this, you talk about the tapestry of your band. And I love that, because that's kind of how I perceive Cedar Breaks too. You have such diversity and vast experiences, but that's what creates the unique dynamic of your band, and what I believe is what makes your band stand out amongst everybody else. What do you feel that Cedar Breaks as a band is the glue?
I think the glue is our message. I think we all wholeheartedly believe in the message of faith, family, and heritage. We all have children, and we all have a tie to Utah, and hence our name Cedar Breaks. And we just want to share an uplifting, family-friendly message and media, and we're able to do that through our music. And I think we all recognize how special and how genuine that is. Mm-hmm. And that's the glue that holds us together. I mean, we'll always be friends, and we'll always care for one another. But without our message and without our purpose, we wouldn't be where we are right now.
I love that you use the word genuine, because definitely when I have Michael, and that's exactly in the first 5 minutes of speaking with him, you'll feel that from him, that he's very genuine, and
for sure.
He is, and so that really does speak to your messages in all of your songs. Now, this is what I love about your songs. Every single one of your songs have a special message to them. And it wasn't, like you said, it's not something that is just derived just to win awards, and it's not even what's in your mind to win awards, but you're just writing from the heart to have a special message to help others with. And this is it. I'm like amazed at every single one of your songs. And I look at everyone has a different type of lifestyle message that's relatable to everybody's life. It's really very special, and it's also very worshipful.
It
and
is.
I put your I put your CD on in my car when I'm driving to and from work, or long distances to listen to, because it kind of sets me up for my day. It's very tranquil, and it's got great uplifting, positive messages for my day, and it's very worshipful at night when you've had a hard day and you want to come home and you want to chill out and relax. Time Aspects of Home CD is one of those, and I hope that people will call in a little bit so they can win one of those free CDs, because you'll be blessed with the music. It's really something that will bless your life. So I want to go ahead. You guys have won so many multiple awards.
We have.
Oh my goodness, with your music,
We've been
your videos,
very blessed.
and your. Oh my gosh, you have. So I want to go ahead, and one of my favorite songs I want to play is your soon-to-be released. It's off your soon-to-be released Miss Thread of Life CD. Is the song Light. Well, this song was featured in the Christian International Film Festival in Orlando in 2015. I wanted to make a note of that for our listeners, that you won Best Gospel Song, which I love that.
Did.
I just love it because one thing that's special, I think, about your band is that it really does break through a lot of genres. And I just love, like I said in my intro, you have some gospel leanings, and I just love that because you really can be categorized in so many different ways with each of your songs. That's how talented you guys are. So this one in particular, I think, won the Best Gospel Song. It has gospel leanings in it. And so it won Best Gospel Song at the International Music and Film Festival in Washington, D.C., and its video won Best Short Musical of 2016. As a treat to our listeners this morning, we're going to go ahead right now and premiere the song Light. So let's take a listen.
Brothers and sisters throughout the land, when life was the darkest for me, my friend, you stood by me and offered your hand. And when I was able to stand by myself, we offered our life to someone else. Just like the river that starts from a spring, united we're strong, together we'll see. Light up the land, light up the land. Just takes one to make us stand. Light up the land. Just
such a beautiful song. And listeners, do you see what I'm talking about with how melodic and what beautiful lyrics the Cedar Breaks Band brings? Just such beautiful, uplifting messages. It sets you up for your day, winds you down at night. It's just so beautiful. And you should hear the other songs on the CDs. They're just like that, but with different wonderful messages. Rebecca, I really do love the lyrics in this song. I feel like it resonates with our purpose here at Up2me Radio because it's a song of hope and courage and encouragement. I love that it says that, one person takes a stand in the service of another, and how that act gains momentum as others grasp the vision, and then that becomes a strong force for change in the world. And I just really feel like that's so true of
it is. And I feel like it really it's a very needed message for our day. And so Greg Erickson did such an amazing job with those lyrics and how it conveys that the light within not only shines for us but for others as well.
And that's definitely what we're about here at Up2me Radio. The same thing. It's just that's the only way, and that's sort of the key to success as well. When you really just live for helping others, and in brotherly love, and that's what we love about Cedar Breaks at Up2me Radio. No, we do, because that's your message. That's your faith, your family, and your heritage, and that's really what's important in life. And your focus is right, and I just love that.
Thank you.
It's awesome. Well, there's also a video that I want to talk about that goes with that, and it won Best Short Musical. And you have a dancer, and her name is Chanel Kostic. Is that right, or Kostic?
Yes. Kostic. Chanel Kostic.
Can you tell us about her and that video?
Oh, she's fantastic, isn't she?
Yes, it's so beautiful.
Yeah,
oh my goodness,
so Chanel, she's amazing. She is amazing. I love Chanel. She we've had her dance in a few of our videos now, just because she does bring her own light to her dancing, and it's really expressive, and she just radiates, and we love Chanel. She really fits in the Cedar Breaks message so well. The video for Light, do you want me to tell kind of the story of it? Is that what you want me to?
Yes, absolutely.
So I won't give too much away, because you should go watch the video and watch Chanel, but it's about a modern day situation of where someone could have kind of let that light just fizzle a little bit inside of them, but instead they shared it with others, and they allowed that light to really grow, and how it's a ripple effect, how one person does something good and really lets that light shine, and it catches with everyone else.
Yeah, it's beautifully done. Now, how did you meet Chanel? And then is she also, I guess she's trained as a ballerina?
She is, and I know she does a lot of ballroom dance as well. She's I just saw this morning on Instagram that she's heading down to South America to do some competitions and some shows. Yeah, she's fantastic. So we met Chanel. Mike actually found her. She was studying at the university here, and I think he just met her through someone he knew and kind of reached out trying to find a dancer, and she was recommended to us. And I remember him calling me, and he said, I just found the most amazing dancer. She's perfect for these videos. And I said, okay, let's do it. Let's see her. And the first time I saw her dance, I knew exactly what he was talking about. She brought everything we were looking for to the video.
Yeah, I'm glad we're talking about your videos, too, because one thing I love about your videos is that you always have beautiful scenery. And Utah, your band is from Utah, correct? Park City, is it?
We're in Salt Lake City.
You're in Salt Lake City. Okay, excuse me. So you're in Salt Lake City, Utah, which all of Utah is extremely beautiful. And you take advantage of the beauty in your own area to shoot your videos.
We do, and we have a lot of credit to Norm Bosworth for that. He's he does a lot of our scouting and our videography and everything. He's very into using Utah, especially since that's what a lot of what we're singing about is where we come from and where we're going and where we are. And right now we are all in Utah, and so we wanted to express that, especially in our time aspects of home songs and videos. We really wanted to capture Utah.
Right, so I want to encourage our listeners to actually, to go on YouTube, and you can look up, if you like a particular song, you can go on YouTube and see the videos, because you don't get the advantage of that if you pop the CD in your car. But if you actually go to YouTube and look up a particular song that you like, they have beautiful, beautiful video. I mean, it just takes you back. It's just beautiful, the rivers and the mountains. And I like the one where you're standing up on this mountain, and you have a little story behind that. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
Was it
for light or air? Prayer. It was for prayer.
Is it prayer? Yeah. So that was a fun one. I was actually expecting my first child in that, and we had to walk to the very, very top of this mountain.
My goodness.
And I was determined not to tell anyone, and I was determined to look happy and not sick. And I got like a third of the way up, and I just caved, and I told everyone, and I started crying. I was like, you guys.
Oh, my goodness. Did they carry you up the rest of the way?
Oh, Diana gave me a big hug, and I slowed them down so much, but they were so sweet and so kind, and we got to the top, and it is my favorite video. I absolutely love prayer, and yeah, that's my personal favorite, and it was so fun to stand up there, and you can see the Great Salt Lake and singing, and
beautiful.
It was a magical experience. I loved that video.
It's almost like a travel log of sorts in your videos.
It is.
Because you're on these incredible places. You do, and also in Mike's movie, the Ole Madsen story was filmed around there as well. And I know you did some of the other location shots in other places, but oh my gosh, it just takes you feel like you're there, and it takes you back in time. It's just beautiful. You guys do just such amazing work, and you're so multi-talented. It's not just your CDs or your videos or documentaries, but you also have books. Now you have a children's literature with my dog, and you're just so multi-talented. That's awesome. I could talk about you all day. So I wanted to know if you would share the origin behind your name, Cedar Breaks Band.
Cedar Breaks is actually a location in Utah. It's down in southern Utah, and as we were talking about, we like to use a lot of Utah scenery in our videos. And Cedar Breaks is it's a really neat place physically, because you can stand there and like it says, where the cedar breaks, the scenery changes dramatically, and you can look. You just feel like you can look in any direction, and you can see for years and years. It kind of feels timeless in a way, and we thought it was perfect because that's not only is that how we want our music to be, but that message of the past, future, and present. There's endless possibilities in any direction you look, and that what we sing a lot about, choices and things like that, and the choices we make really affect our future generations, and that every step that we take must be with meaning and with full intent. And so Cedar Breaks for us as a band, and our song Air is actually about our name, Cedar Breaks. It really talks about a place you find, like a peace of mind, and where you live mentally, spiritually, and physically, and that you just move with intent.
And that really is how I feel like how your whole band is defined. Like you were saying, your integrity, your mission statement, and really just your music and who you are as a whole. So I didn't realize that until after I did some research and saw that that's why you named your band Cedar Breaks. And I was like, that just defines exactly who they are. Even in your books and in your movies, that's like a resounding thread that runs through who you guys are as a band and as people too. I just love that.
Oh, thank you.
You have a lot of depth. Each one of
you
you have a lot of. You do, and you bring it in a different way. That's why your diversity, I think, makes you come together like a tapestry or a beautiful quilt, and it transcends all kinds of barriers and genres. And I think that's really important to be relatable and so that your message does have that ripple effect. And I think it will last throughout time. And because of that, it will. And I also love your CD name, Time Aspects, and it's TYME, but Aspects of Home. And so, really wherever you are, you can bring that with you, that aspect of home through your music. It's just really special.
Thank you.
And I do think that's what makes it unique. And since you're bringing up the song Air, that is your new single.
It is.
And that's with your Mist CD that's coming up, correct?
Yes, that's our next album that will be released.
Okay, so why is the message of Air, do you think, is so significant to the band's belief and messages that for the times that we're living in right now? Did you mention that a minute ago?
I think it's really easy, especially nowadays, to be consumed with everything around you, whether it's phones, computers, jobs, and it's not necessarily some of these things that try and take our time and attention aren't bad, but there's just so much now that you really have to be selective with your time and with your intentions and what you do. And so I think Air really relates to that because it kind of talks about disconnecting with things around you to really look inward and to kind of pause and say, where am I going? How is this affecting, myself and those around me? And it just it allows a lot of reflection. And we try and really keep reflection in our songs, and especially since the majority of our albums are written by members within the band. I write a lot, and so does Mike and Michael, and we all really pitch into the writing because we want to sing about things that we really feel. Because if we don't relate to it, we can't express it. Does that make sense?
Right, exactly. Well, that definitely comes through in your music. That definitely comes through.
Thank you.
Yeah. And so who did you get in the video for Air? That's a beautiful video. And that's on Vimeo.com. I just want to, isn't that right? It's on
yes,
Vimeo?
It is. It is.
Okay.
Yes.
And also the Dance for Light is also on Vimeo.com. I said YouTube earlier, but it's on Vimeo.com. So I just want to clarify
they're all
that.
on YouTube as well. So you can go on YouTube and see all of our videos and interviews and everything.
It's beautiful. Let's talk about that.
Thank you. So Michael Gibbons and his brother and his team kind of came up with the video for that, and Mike Erickson was really involved with the storyline for it. And it talks about finding that place, finding where the cedar breaks individually.
And that just ties right into your mission and your statement. Now I'm going to put you on the spot, Rebecca, because I remember.
Okay.
I'm sorry to do that to you, but you know what? I just remembered that Mike told me, because I love your mission statement, and I remember that Mike told me that he made everybody in the band memorize your mission statement.
Oh, you are putting me on the spot. Look at you. Okay.
You don't have to recite it off the top of your head, but just what it's about, because it just ties into who you all are and the people and all your videos. You were talking about Air and your name, so I'd be remiss if we didn't talk about your mission statement.
How about I tell you the part of the mission statement that resonates with me the most? Is that okay?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.
So
it's about heritage and family.
It is. And it, like we talk a lot about faith, family, and heritage. And we have a mission statement. And when I first really started thinking about it, it kind of made me think, what is my role in Cedar Breaks? What do I bring to the group? And in turn, what message do I send for those who hear the music? And it really took me a while to kind of refine that and really understand it. And my favorite part of our mission statement talks about, for me, it's moving with intention and really being purposeful in the present moment. I think it's really easy for me especially to really reflect on my past and reflect on what made me who I am. And it's also easy for me. I'm a little type A, and so it's really easy for me to plan my future on a calendar. I'm really good at that. But it's hard for me to be in the present. And so from our mission statement and from these songs and from what I do with Cedar Breaks, I want to be in the present, and I want my emotions and my words and my music right now to make a difference for myself, for my children, and for whoever hears it. So I know that's kind of a roundabout way for the mission statement, but for me personally with Cedar Breaks, that's what I strive to do the most.
Well, I'm so glad that you pointed that out, because I do think a lot of times we do reflect a lot on our past and how we can utilize that for our future. But I kind of feel like you are, where you tend to just go through the motions because the Lord spoke to me, and I talk a lot about this on my show with other guests as well, that sometimes the Lord had to come to me and discipline me a little bit and say, you know what, Gail, I want you to enjoy the journey, enjoy the present, because you're concentrating so much on the future and planning and all of that you're not enjoying your journey. So enjoy your journey.
And it's so
enjoy
easy to do.
It is, because you get caught up with the everyday and you feel like, I'm tired, I have all this stuff. You're running from here and there, and you're not really but to move in purpose and intent, you have to do that in the present. You have to live in the present, be intentful and purposeful in the present in order for it to last for the future. So that's kind of what I learned through that.
For sure. And I kind of took it, too, as being a mom and being part of Cedar Breaks and songwriting and singing. I wanted to make sure that my kids saw me striving to reach my goals, and I want to make sure that they see the ups and downs, because even though I love this with all of my heart and it's something that's deeply rooted inside of me, that doesn't mean that it's always easy. And I wanted them to see that. And so it's very important to me to be in the present and allow my kids to see me go through these things and see me, have the little bumps in the road, but rise from them and still achieve these goals.
And because that's reality for anything that we do.
Is.
It's never, that's the icing on the cake after you've been through all the bumps and bruises that it takes to get there. That's why getting there is so sweet, because all that you went through, but it sharpens us.
For sure.
It sharpens us for what we need. When you come out of the light, into the light, it's, you've been refined. I love that. There's a Christian song about that, Refiner's Fire, it's called. And I love that song because I can really resonate with that. Because we have to be refined like a diamond in the rough. A diamond, if you see that in a mine, is all rough and it doesn't look like the ring that's on your finger. It has to go through fire and cleaned and scraped, and and that's how how we are, and and that's part of our present journey, and that's what the Lord taught me. So thank you for sharing that with us about your mission statement, and that's why I think your mission statement, I wanted to make sure we talked about that as well, because it really does refine and define who all of you are at Cedar Breaks and with the Cedar Breaks Band. And I'm just so thankful that you were able to come on here this morning. And another thing I wanted to talk about, we're getting towards the close of the hour. We have a little bit more time, 5 or so more minutes. And so I just wanted to talk about the upcoming event that you have. It's very exciting. The Christian Film Festival in Orlando next weekend, May 4th through the 6th.
Yes.
So you're going to be featured for your music video, Believe. So I wanted to definitely talk about Believe. Tell us about the meaning of this song and also where that was shot.
So Believe, Norm Bosworth put that video together with it's a quick moving video with a lot of images, and the kind of the background behind Believe is it's about freedom and agency, and how we need to be aware of the blessings of the liberties that we have. And it's a really good message for our time as well, just like light is about tolerance, working toward peace, and working together and sharing that light and just understanding how blessed we truly are.
Amen to that.
And so it's in the International Christian Film Festival in Orlando, like you said, next week, and it was chosen from over 500 entries. And so we're really blessed, and we're really honored to be part of that.
How can we view that on YouTube? Can we is it on YouTube, or are you just featuring it exclusively for the film festival?
No, it's on YouTube. So you can either just Google Cedar Breaks Believe and it will come up, or you can go to youtube.com/Cedar Breaks Band and it will be right there.
Awesome. Well, also talk about My Dog. That's very different and special. It's so cute.
It is.
It has a book.
Yeah,
the book is amazing.
It is so cute. I love the book. My kids love the book. And Keith wrote that song, and it was actually about his dog.
It was Keith.
So Keith Behunin, our banjo player.
Okay.
He wrote My Dog, and it's a true story about his dog. And he played it for us. And at first we were kind of going, I don't know exactly where to put this. Like, it doesn't, do we put it between light and air, or do we do its own thing? And so, but we loved it so much that we knew we had to do something with it. And so we just kind of got this wild idea to turn it into a children's book and to make a music video with puppies and just, really, really include it. And we did, and it's been so fun. And we have had so much positive feedback from that. I tease my parents because in the video I play a washboard, and when the video came out, we were getting a lot of feedback on it. And I called my parents and I said, thank you for all those years of classical voice and piano lessons. I played the washboard, and it is our #1 video right now. So thank you for that.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it was kind of fun, but
awesome.
it's just such a fun song, and I love My Dog, and it's won awards, and it's getting really good feedback, and the book is a darling.
And it comes with a little CD, so you can,
It does.
If you have little toddlers
and
they can't sit still on your lap because they have a short attention span, you can play the song with it. They can dance with the song while you're you're reading it or whatever, or they can look at the the pictures as they listen to the song. It's really different and cute. I like it's the lighter side because a lot of your songs are so. You have so much depth to you and all of that, but here's something that's like light and fun, and I just wanted to feature that in our interview here too, because I just want everybody to know the depth of and the breadth of all of you, because you just can go from and worshipful and significant and intentful and purposeful, and then you can just do a fun little children's book like My Dog. It's just so sweet. So,
thank you. And you can grab some spoons and a washboard and play along. That's the best part.
Right, there you go.
You can be part of the band.
That's awesome. And you don't have to be classically trained to do it. You can just go into your kitchen and find something and you can play along.
I know. I might need to brush up on my washboard technique. So I'll work on that.
I think you guys are so awesome. Well, unfortunately, our time's up for today's program, Rebecca. It goes so fast. I know my time with Mike and when we were talking, it just went like the blink of an eye because Cedar Breaks is such an amazing band, and you bring so much to families and purpose to people's lives and to your music. And it really, I think of it as a ministry of sorts to me, and so we always consider all of you members of the Cedar Breaks Band and family as our friends here at Up2me Radio, and we're happy to do all we can to support you. And I hope you don't mind if I pray with you to close out this section of our program.
Oh, of course.
Well, Lord, thank you so much for Rebecca and all the members of the Cedar Break Band and their families. We ask that you continue to show your favor upon them in their musical ministries through song and videos, literature, and documentaries as they bless others in their work through you. We ask that you also protect and keep them in your care. In your precious name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Well, amen. Thank you so much. And if you would like to learn more about Cedar Breaks Band, please visit their website at www.cedarbreaksband.com. Don't forget to purchase their beautiful collection of songs on their Time Aspects of Home CD, and keep an eye out for their new soon-to-be-released CD entitled Mist Thread of Life, featuring their brand new single, Air, certainly a song befitting of our times.